session, but if you have any questions, please raise your hands and we'll be very happy to take them.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I must say I'm highly honored and privileged to share a diet with such an eminent panel. And question, so what I'll do is I'll initiate the discussion, and then I would request the audience to participate and make this an interactive panel discussion. So, my first question would be to Mr. Arvind Singh. So we talked about the growth of in the whole success story about the growth story of Indian retail is coming up on the back of reducing average age of the population and increasing income level, and also the changing customer attitude. But for an Indian consumer, the organized retail sector is still a very new phenomenon, and he's still discovering the experience of shopping in a planned environment, and but it makes him less brand loyal, isn't it? He's exposed to new brands, new formats every day. So how does brand ensure that there's a repeat footfall or repeat sales, that the customer keep coming back to their store or the brand?
See, firstly, it's going back to the basics. How do you build a brand? That somebody comes through there. You can top it up with experience. The customers are willing to forego some of the experiential aspect of it. I guess it is absolutely downright, deterring. Like I said, shopping bag being screened and stopped is, in my opinion, one of the worst things Indian retailers can do. To discourage people from coming to their shops. Because you start with the notion every customer who walks in is a thief. Not everyone by exception, there's somebody could be a shoplifter. But that aside, by and large, experience in today's context is not about store design only. It's about basically efficient layout of the store, which means continuity of categories and subcategories, signage, clear, pricing, very, very clear, checkouts, reasonably efficient. As long as you stick again to these very basics, Indian customers yet are not involved because the benchmark again is with the street shops and an organized sector. There is no benchmark yet with another modern retailer. Maybe 15 years later, we will move to the next level of evolution as far as experience is concerned.
Sunil, as we understand, in times of recession or slowdown, as we are getting now, it's the discretionary spending that gets affected primarily. How would you classify your value proposition or your product? Would you classify them into discretionary spending, or if you do, how do you see the current market scenario affecting the business such as handloom?
I think that firstly, I don't think we're in recession.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not in recession.
Right.
Growth rate has dropped from 9% to 7%, and so-called feel-good factor has gone out for many of us. And we probably temporarily feel we need to save more and spend a little bit less. And I think that's to me, that's a temporary phase. What we need to be cautious about, as Mr. Rao pointed out, is costs. Many retailers built up costs and corporate overheads, thinking that we're going to grow at 100% per annum, and therefore huge warehouses, huge stores, high-cost people, all those sort of things. So you need to watch those costs very, very carefully. And you need to see that your overheads as a percentage of sales are always kept within check. So that you're not passing that overhead on to your product. That's extremely important, because if you start passing on overhead to product costs in a time like this, then you're getting into trouble. That's one part. Second thing is that you may find that, say, if you have a price band of, say, garments which are from 300 to 3,000 rupees, you may find that with the shift of people wanting to spend a little less, and you want to display more of the products towards the lower end of the spectrum rather than more of the products at the higher end of the spectrum. So, people are in a mood right now to look for something slightly, low price. As of now, neither sales nor profitability has declined in spite of what's happened to that.
So now, when we talk about managing Indian retail, and like you do the presentation, that in the last 2 years we have seen massive headhunting in the retail sector per se, for the people who have certain amount of retail experience. Okay. So there's a perception, perceptually at least, that there was a huge gap between the demand and supply. So what do you think is the scenario now? Does that gap between demand and supply of manpower still exist, or do we have reached an equilibrium, or are they turned the other way around where the supply is more than the demand?
See, currently, if you ask me, the supply is not as high as it was in the last 1.5 years.
Customer base?
How acute is the problem of acquiring the staff at the shop floor level? I mean, not the management level, but again the customer interface. But typically, what happens is, for example, I would have asked Mr. Joshi if he was there. Croma has a tagline of "We help you buy." So they need people who are very well equipped with understanding of electronic products. Second, who are also very friendly with the customer. So you don't want to intimidate the customer standing on his head, but at the same time you have to be alive to a need that a certain customer might have and would not ask freely, would shy from asking for help. So how do you train? How do you acquire and then train staff to be aligned with company objectives? Anyone?
I can take up. I was not a retailer, so Robert knows much better than I do. But my personal view is that again, maybe I would.
Because some time back, recently, there was a huge belief that if you're opening a retail store, you have to create network effects. So you have to create a complete destination for a customer. So a mall is the ideal place for a retail store where a customer can walk in, shop, eat, watch a movie, go to a gaming zone. But then recently we have been hearing that Indian people have not yet taken up to malls, and the retailers are again coming back to go to the high street, and that where they feel is the most viable model because rentals are quite high in malls. How do you see this ambiguity, or not? I shouldn't be calling it ambiguity, but how do you see that trend going right now? What's the belief in the market?
There is no dichotomy in this. Customers need shopping space, population increases. The high streets are only as much. So most of you have seen doubling of the population. The customers will be very comfortable shopping in shopping malls.
I think the privilege of asking the last question. Potential and promise it had the capability of taking the leadership in becoming the next growth engine for the Indian economy. Mr. Alice, so I thought it was appropriate question to ask you to conclude it.